Hey, yo, it's being reported that Canelo and Jermall Charlo could fight next. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. This is some pretty breaking news, so I think you want to pay attention. Make sure you guys subscribe. ESPN Deportes, ESPN Mexico, they were the first to see, or that I seen, put this out. It says sources, Canelo's compass points to a Jermall Charlo fight, right? Brand new article. Many names have gone through the scrutiny of Canelo's team for their next rival. Various options were analyzed from middleweight to cruiserweight, and everything seems to indicate Canelo's compass among the deck of possibilities is expected to return for second fight, blah, 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 against middleweight champion Jermall Charlo. Some sources revealed the ESPN knockout. Charlo undefeated 32, professional bouts 22 by knockout, yada, yada, yada. Flirting sometime with the possibility of moving to 168. Jermall would be looking for his fight with the three-time champion, yada, yada, yada. So that's what they're saying. Among the options still live, Badu Jack was undoubtedly solid because the Canelo would have opportunity to be a five-time world champion that he's been eyeing. What did it say? The Ripper also made it attractive. However, the option may have weakened as Jermall Charlo's option strengthened. Earlier this week, ESPN's Mike Coppinger revealed that the Canelo team and Al Heyman, Charlo's advisor, met in Cleveland, and perhaps the straw that broke the camel's back. Charlo is 33, just 1 year older, and has had to deal with issues outside of the ring that led to inactivity. But boy, does he look attractive among the options, since he will not have to kill himself to make weight. Boom. Best in the business here. Ego thoughts. Now, this, you guys got to pay attention because I'm about to really go in. This fight is a mixed bag for me, and I will explain in this video like only I know how to do. This fight is an extreme mixed bag. I think it's an amazing fight. So amazing that I've wanted to see it for like 10 years. And Canelo never once looked really in Jermall Charlo or Jermall Charlo's direction. And what I mean is they could have fought at 154 and Canelo never fought either Charlo, Jermall or Jermall. He moved up to 160 after the Liam Smith fight. Jermall Charlo then moved up shortly after, around that same time frame, at 160. Instead of then fighting Jermall Charlo, Canelo did a deal with the devil, the WBC, we back Canelo, and they created some designation, fake title, the franchise champion, which really was horrible. And now that Devin Haney became undisputed, now you don't even hear about the franchise belt. So apparently the people that wanted it, there's never, listen, mark my words, since the WBC came out with that witness protection belt, the franchise title or designation, there has never been a black fighter that has won that designation. Wilder told you when he was WBC champion at heavyweight, he don't want that. Devin Haney told you that he don't want that. And Devin Haney, he's still undefeated, retained his titles, and he proved that he didn't want it because he's not the franchise champion. But Canelo and Lomachenko, instead of fighting apt mandatories that the world wanted to see, Devin Haney for Lomachenko, and then for Canelo, Jermall Charlo, they opted to agree to this witness protection belt. So that was a strike against Canelo. Canelo was dangerously close to being undisputed at 160, which is a far more impressive thing than being undisputed at 168, fighting the names he fought, because he fought primarily certain styles at 168 because that's who had the belts. The Billy Joe Saunders and the Caleb Plants, and he fought Caleb Smith. He fought a lot of white fighters, Caucasian fighters, multiple ones from the UK, right? Or Eastern European background, right? So I said that to say this. Canelo could have been fought Jermall Charlo, and this is why it's a mixed bag. I think it's a great fight. I've wanted to see it. I've been pushing for the fight for years, but Canelo, in typical Canelo fashion, he went about it in the most horrific way possible by wanting to fight Charlo, if this is true, all these reports or whatnot, You want to fight Charlo when he has no fights at 168 and he's had personal issues. Some believe it's like, things that could be detrimental to the ring. We'll just leave it at that. And the biggest thing is he's been inactive. That's the time in which you want to fight Jermall Charlo. You could have fought him for years, and I do mean years, but you never gave him the ball. You never, it was like, and this is what the Canelo fans do. Everybody good that fans want to see Canelo fight, they make up excuses for Canelo to duck them and say like, oh, they just want to pay, all these types of games. And then Canelo doesn't end up fighting him. And then guys like John Ryder or Avni Yildirim or whoever else from the UK get the Canelo fight, and nobody bats an eyelash. Nobody says they want a payday. Nobody says they got to sell more or do more to earn the fight. And these are lesser fights, especially critically, and in terms of being the blockbuster big fights. So I still think the Charlo fight and the Canelo fight is big, but Canelo, just the way he went about it, I think it's just a bad look. You should want to fight people at their best. Shout out to Errol Spence. Shout out to Terrence Crawford, because those brothers are going after each other when it still matters. You could argue, oh, Errol Spence, he's been on a long layoff, but he's been on a layoff due to negotiations, and he's kept his weight down. So he's still the unified champion. He's still unbeaten, and it's not the same as Jermall Charlo, who publicly told you he was dealing with a lot, and his plate got real heavy, and he's been out even longer than Errol Spence. On top of that, he's been out 2.5, 3 years or so. So it's sad that Canelo, he literally wants to fight people at his weakest. Now, the racist Canelo fans, this is exactly what they claim they hate Floyd Mayweather for. They say, oh, I don't like Floyd. He's a cherry picker. He waits to have all the advantages. He waits for people to get old. Is that not what Canelo is doing? Fighting people off of bad performances. Like, people complain that Charlo didn't look good in the Montiel fight, and he's been on a long layoff, and he's never fought at 168. And this is what you want when David Benavidez and Morrell, they've been active, they haven't had personal problems, and they're full-bodied 168 pounders. You don't want to fight them. You want to fight the guy, with no tune-up. But, at the end of the day, if Charlo agrees, he agrees, and he's putting himself in that position. So it is what it is. But me personally, as a boxing fan, I would like to see Charlo get a tune-up and then fight Canelo, if anything. Like, because what if Charlo fought anybody at 168? We don't know how he's going to look. You can surmise what you think is going to happen, but we truly don't know. So for me, I just wish it played out different, but dealing with Canelo, this is what you get. I'm the best in the business, and I'm out.